Okay, hello everyone. Just to make sure that everyone can hear me, can you please let me know if you can hear my headphones? Can you hear what I say? It's very nice to be here and do another lesson with you all. Thank you very much for coming. Could you just let me know if you can hear my headphones, please? Hello, Pauline. It's lovely to speak to you again. How has your day been, Pauline? What have you been up to? It's been very difficult being inside. We're just trying to find loads of things to do to keep ourselves occupied. It's really important that you stay positive and that you keep yourself occupied with different activities. For me, I'm trying to practice my cooking. I'm trying to do things outside of work and trying to keep myself occupied. Work as usual, of course. Everyone is working from home. I think the word in French is télétravail. It's obviously important to work, and I think it helps you stay focused on what's important and you forget about the negative situation that we're in. So it's fantastic, Pauline. Hello, Naiman. It's lovely to have you here too. How has your day been? What have you been up to today? We'll just wait a couple of seconds for some more students. I realized that with the connection and it's April Fools, sometimes people take a while to join. So we'll just wait a couple more seconds. But in that time, I'd just like to quickly see how you all are doing. How you can tell me what you've done today. What has everyone been up to? Obviously, today is April Fools, and that is the aim of this lesson. We're going to have a brief discussion of this holiday. For those of you who were here in the lesson yesterday, we did talk about different holidays. I purposefully tried to ignore this as we have a lesson on this today. Okay, I think everyone is the same. Everyone's teleworking, teletravail. We say working from home in English. And fitness at home, yeah, it's really important to stay active. And I know loads of people who are trying to do yoga to stay fit and healthy. So I think we have all of our students here now. Hello, Chantal, Ellen, Elsie, and Christel. It's lovely to have you here. And Johanna and Lana. Thank you very much for joining. Is on April Fools. To give you a brief overview, we're going to discuss today. We're going to have a brief discussion about what April Fools is, why we celebrate it, and we're going to have a discussion about some facts. Then we're going to talk about making our own, and then, because it's difficult to talk about April Fools for a long time, we're going to talk about another English topic, more specifically on conjunctions, so that you're able to make some really good April Fool's jokes in English on your friends. Okay, so before I start, I would just like to encourage you all to press the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you very much for your following, and it's always nice to have a conversation with you all. We hope you enjoy it too, and if you do, please invite your friends or family. The idea of these lessons is to just have a fun, interactive lesson, so everyone is welcome. We're going to start today with some facts, obviously on April Fools. So, my first fact, I'm going to need your help again. It's about the origin of April Fools. Okay, so what year did we start April Fool tradition? I should say that we say April Fools. That's the English way of saying Poisson d'Avril. Okay, we don't have the tradition of putting a fish on people's backs. We say April Fools because we make jokes. We say things that aren't true, and we play around with our family and friends. But more importantly, what year do you think the April Fool tradition started? What year do you think? You don't know. You need to be more optimistic than that, Elsie. Try and guess. Do you think it was last year, 2019? Do you think it was 100 years ago, 200 years ago? You can write any date. If you want, you can just slap your keyboard and send whatever number comes up first. Okay, so let's get some suggestions. What do you all think? I wasn't sure about this answer, and I don't know when it started. Around the 1500s, that's a fantastic guess, Merriman. Elsie, 1950, you think is quite a recent event, perhaps? Yes, it's quite there's no celebration in relation to Christianity or Labor Days. It's a very strange holiday. Perhaps it is quite new. So, Merriman thinks it's old. Lana agrees 150 years ago. In relation to holidays, that it's still quite new. Looking how far you're going back. Okay, Christine, I think you're researching these answers because you always get really close to the correct answer. Christelle, sorry, that is. I can tell you that April Fool started in 1582. So, Nariman, I think you were the first one to answer that correctly, and you were really, really close. Christelle, you were even closer, but I have the feeling, I don't want to say you're dishonest, but I have the feeling that you looked it up on Google. But fantastic guess anyway. Okay, just quickly again. In which country do they celebrate Poisson de Avril over 2 days? So in France and England, we celebrate April Fools or Poisson de Avril for 1 day. Can you guess which country celebrates Poisson de Avril for 2 days? I understand, Corinne, it's a very difficult time. We're not going to make any jokes. We're going to try and stay positive and focus on our English. It's important to stay positive, and hopefully we can do everything we can to make this lesson fun and enjoyable for you, Corinne. So, Corinne, can you think of a country where we celebrate this holiday for 2 days? Okay, let's try and think positively. But thank you for your contribution. Pauline thinks Spain. Very good guess, Pauline. Unfortunately, that's not the correct answer. Elsie thinks Hawaii. It's not Hawaii, but it's a country where I would love to be right now, Hawaii. No problem, Isabel. Feel free to come at any time. We're just talking about countries where they celebrate Poisson de Avril over 2 days. Canada, an excellent guess. Okay, I'm going to help you all out. It's Scotland. Écosse on Francais. Scotland is the only country which celebrates this day twice. Okay, so to quickly get us started on the topic, I've got another quick interactive activity before we talk about conjunctions and more English holidays. So I'm going to give you a fact. Now, I'm not going to ask you to help me this time. I'm going to give you the full fact, and you are going to say true or false. Okay, so this is still on the theme of April Fools. Perhaps it can give you some inspiration for a joke or someone or something you can tell someone later on. Okay, so North Cuba, North Korea, and China are the only places you can't buy Coca-Cola. Okay, so Cuba, North Korea, and China are the only places you can't buy Coca-Cola. Do you think it's true or do you think it's false? Let's make this round quickly so we can get onto the English. Hello for those of you who have just joined, Saeed and Huyamata. No problem, you're welcome to join the lesson at any time. Okay, we have a great contrast of answers. Some people think it's true, some people think it's false. Okay, I can wait for some more answers. Okay, Aurelia thinks it's false. Hello, Aurelia. It's nice to have you here. Nariman agrees. Corinne agrees. I can tell you that it is false. Only in Cuba and North Korea where you cannot buy Coca-Cola. You can buy it in China. But you were nearly right, Pauline. It was just one country. Okay, let's do one more. More people visit France than any other country. What do you think about that? More people visit France than any other country. Do you think that's true or do you think that is false? What is your opinion? True, Pauline, you're very nationalistic. Yeah, France has some fantastic sites, but is it true or false? Elsie disagrees. Okay, Elsie, what do you think is the country which has the most visitors? Maybe England. They might not come for the sun if they go to England, but they might come for our history. Okay, a lot of people think that it's France, and I can tell you that it is France. France is the country with the most tourists each year. Okay, so let's start on the lesson. Today is April Fool's, but now we're going to focus on English. Of course, these are English lessons. We're going to try and help you construct your own April Fool's joke in English. Okay, so a conjunction is a word we use in the middle of a sentence to help express what we are trying to say. Okay, so if I write down conjunction, I'm going to give you some examples and then I would like you to help me. So for those of you who are in the chat, we're talking about specific words which we use to help explain what we're trying to say in English. So an example of a conjunction, a very simple one, is and. I am teaching and I am talking. I am wearing a shirt and a t-shirt. Okay, a very popular conjunction. Another one is if. Okay, I will teach tomorrow if it is sunny. Okay, even if it's raining, I'll be here tomorrow, don't worry. Can you give me some more conjunctions? Can you think of any more conjunctions? Because fantastic, Elsie. Okay, if we have an action which is a result of something else, we say because. I am not going on a holiday because there are no flights. I will eat a salad because I want to be healthy. Fantastic. Okay, what other conjunctions do we have? Johanna, fantastic. Hence. Okay, this is a word we use to describe the outcome. Or, but, so, very common ones. If I talk about but quickly, it's a contrast of sentences. We have two clauses, two actions, which are contrasting. So, for example, I could say, I like to eat chocolate, but it's not good for my health. Okay, there's two phrases, but they're contrasting. One's positive and the other is negative. That's a popular use of the word, but we have some fantastic other ones here with perhaps, whether, or, for, some fantastic examples. Okay, so now I actually have some exercises for you, which I've taken from or taken inspiration from the Cercle de Langues module. So if you become a student of ours, you will have access to these exercises to help you practice these particular grammar points. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to give you a sentence and I would like you to fill out the conjunction and what you think it could be. Okay? So I like sugar in my tea. I don't like milk in it. What do you think the conjunction could be for this sentence? What word could we put in the middle? Exactly, but it's a fantastic answer. We have a positive phrase, I like sugar in my tea, and we have a negative phrase, I don't like milk. But is fantastic. We could also say, however. I believe but is the best example to use. So fantastic, Aurelia, and everyone else who answered, you had the correct answer. Okay, I'm going to write in another one. So this one, they climbed the mountain. It was very windy. They climbed the mountain. Space. It was very windy. What conjunction could we use in the space here? What word can we use to link these two sentences together? What can you come up with? Okay, so there's no positive and negative phrase here. We can't use but. Marry men. Let's see. Let's try and put however in the sentence and see what it sounds like. They climbed the mountain. However, it was very windy. That sounds great to me, Nariman. Thank you very much for your suggestion. There are other conjugations you can use. Can we think of any other conjugations to use for this specific sentence? Nariman has said, however. You can say but. Yeah, you could say but. I guess the point of the exercises here is that it's related to the phrase, but also you can use many different conjunctions to link two phrases together. Some might work better than others, but they work just as well. So I was thinking of the conjugation though. They climbed the mountain though it was very windy. Okay, so we have loads of different conjugations you can use. If we look down the list, you can't say despite. You could say they climbed the mountain despite the weather conditions. Okay, you couldn't use despite in this particular sentence. You'd have to rearrange the word slightly. But yes, however would be another conjugation you could use. Okay, I'm going to try one more sentence with you all. I'm going to leave a space. And again, can you think of a conjugation you could write in the gap to make the sentence? Okay, if you're unsure, you can try and write any of the conjunctions we've used before. It's okay to practice writing. I just want to try and encourage you to use conjunctions. It really helps you express yourself in English. Okay, fantastic, Nariman. While. So this is a conjunction we use to define two actions which are happening at the same time. Lenny was watching the planes while his wife was reading in the car. Whilst is another one you could use. Lenny was watching the planes whilst his wife was reading in the car. While, fantastic. I can see other people have written while there too. Many people have. Pauline, if you want to use instead of, it's an action which replaces another one. So, for example, you could say, I will cook dinner instead of playing football. So it's when you're replacing one action, in this example, football, with another one, which was cooking. But a fantastic contribution. Thank you very much, Pauline. Okay, now we've practiced a little bit. We've talked about some conjunctions. I now need your help to write a short story, okay? So this is a very creative exercise. I hope it's going to work well. It's the first time we've done this on the YouTube live. We have some fantastic students. All of you are great. I know you can help me out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the first half of the sentence, and I would like you to finish the sentence off for me. So you need to read and understand what I've written. You will need to understand the meaning of the conjunction, and then you will need to finish off the sentence. Okay, so let's try this now. So, I was watching TV, but. So you can write anything you want. We're going to make a story together. Okay? So, for those of you who are in the lesson today, just practice writing, practice making sentences. For this, you only have to write one half of the sentence, but you have to think about the conjunction I've used and if it makes sense with your sentence. You can try, and I can do my best to explain the positives and the negatives with your sentence. But as we always say, there are no problems with making mistakes. Okay, we have a fantastic answer from Corinne. Thank you very much. I was watching TV, but my television was broken. Fantastic. Let's see what other answers we get before we go on. I was watching TV, but it was so boring. What were you watching, Aurelia? You've told me about a great TV show. Hopefully we weren't watching that. We were watching TV, but actually I'm in containment. Okay, I don't think that could work, Paige, but thank you very much for your contribution. So we need a negative connotation to fit the second part. Okay, I was watching TV, but someone called me. That sounds very ominous, very suspicious. But we have some other great sentences. I was watching TV, but I was disturbed by my neighbor knocking on the door. Okay, let's use Narimans. I was watching TV, but I was disturbed by my neighbor knocking on the door. I'm going to try and think of a next sentence to make this interesting. I wanted to go and answer the door when. So, if I can read the sentence again, I was watching TV, but I was disturbed by my neighbor knocking on my door. I wanted to go and answer the door when, so something happened. What can you come up with? What do you think happened next? It's really difficult. I'm going to plan my next sentence. I wanted to go and answer the door when. What happened? Let's try and make this really interesting. Anything could have happened. We're just watching TV. We hear a knock at the door. We're not sure who it is. Someone could be in danger. Yeah, I wanted to go and answer the door when the phone rang. Yeah, who's at the other end of the phone, Johanna? Who could it be? Perhaps it's good, perhaps it's a bad call. Yeah, I wanted to go and answer the door when I heard a strange scream. Oh no, Pauline, that's terrible. When my son called me. Okay, I think Pauline has an excellent answer there. I wanted to go and answer the door when I heard a strange scream. I was wondering whether I should. So the conjunction here is whether, and we use whether when we have two options, okay? So whether I should, you need to give two opinions, two actions which we can choose. So I wanted to go and answer the door when I heard a strange scream. I was wondering whether I should. What do you think we could do? Yeah, I was wondering whether I should open or not. Fantastic, Nariman. When we use the conjunction whether, we're defining two possibilities that could happen. Okay? For example, I could say, I'm deciding whether to go on holiday to Spain or America. Okay, there are two options, Spain and America, and I'm deciding whether to go to one of them. Okay, let's stick with Nariman's answer. I was wondering whether I should open the door or not. Okay, let's move the story along. I opened the door and I saw I think that's a good story, isn't it? If we leave it at I was wondering whether I should open the door or not. I think the aim of the exercise was to practice the conjugations and to see the kind of to see the responses you came up with. And from what I read, I believe that you have all understood the correct way to use your conjugations. I also am stalling because I have no idea what to write as the next sentence. It's very difficult. But I think we can leave the story there because it's a very interesting one. So we've talked about conjunctions. We've had a brief conversation on April Fools. Can any of you give me an April Fool's joke? You can use a conjugation. You don't have to. The aim of this exercise is to write a sentence in English. We're all here to practice. Can any of you write me an April Fool's joke? You can write anything you like. Just try to write a sentence in English, and I will do my best to correct as many of you as I can. It's really good to practice your grammar and vocabulary. I do try and say this a lot in the lessons, but we really do have such a lovely group of students and people here, and we all have a great knowledge of English. So even if you read the suggestions on the page, it's really good and it will help you recognize some words. Perhaps sometimes you might not understand what I say. It's really good to hear and listen to English. It helps you become more used to the language. Okay, I'm still waiting for some April Fool's jokes. I understand it's a difficult topic. You have to be very creative. So perhaps I can help, as that is my job. So, April Fools. Okay, yes, we can write an April Fool's. For example, mm, the cops gave me an authorization to invite you all tonight to Aurelia's house. That's so kind, Aurelia. I will be there for sure. I think we can all go to Aurelia's house tomorrow night. That's a great joke, Aurelia. So of course she is joking. And that's a really nice we can maybe do the lesson at your house tomorrow, Aurelia, if that's okay. We can all come to your house and we can do a free face-to-face group lesson at your house. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're coming to the last couple of minutes in the lesson today, and perhaps we could do something a little interesting to finish off, reading some new comments, some new April Fool's jokes that are being written into the chat. Said has written, but I don't listen very well because my daughter listens to music. Okay, fantastic, Said. Thank you for your comment. Okay, so to finish, we can play a little game. Okay, so previously we've tried to do things as interactive as we can, and it's very difficult to play a game in regards to April Fools. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a conjunction word on the board. No drawing today. I think no one liked it. And I'm going to ask you to try and make a sentence for me with that word. Okay? Okay. Ah, it's the wrong way around. But can you make a sentence with but for me as a conjugation? Okay, so who can think of a really good sentence with but in it? So remember, but is a contrasting conjunction when we have two ideas that go against each other. So who can think of a sentence with but in it? Okay, we have some spam on the chat. We have Axel. We have some spam. We can ignore that. Of course, Samuel is a good ping pong player, but Axel is better. It's not true. I know he's not here to defend himself, but I can assure you that's not true. I'm happy to be at home, but nature is missing me a lot. Fantastic, Aurelia. I'm happy to be at home, but I think I'm missing nature more than it's missing me right now. Nariman has written, I have so much work, but I will finish the course first. I'm really glad that you came again, Nariman, and you always have a fantastic contribution in the lesson, so thank you very much. And I realize that we're running out of time today, guys. I would like to thank you all for joining again today. As always, I really appreciate your contributions and all of your everything that you write. You really do make the lessons enjoyable, and it's a really nice atmosphere that we've created. It's great to see the same faces coming every lesson, and we'd love to see you all again tomorrow. As we mentioned, 3 p.m. every single day is the time for our free lessons. If you'd like to invite any friends or family or colleagues along, we're more than happy to accommodate them. Thank you once again for your kind messages, and it really makes it fun for me. So thank you all again. I wish you the best health, and I hope you have a great evening. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Bye.